We came here with uncertain expectations. We didn't really know exactly what we were going to achieve in this one day of seminar between the EC and the WBI. But in the end, I think we saw that we have a really common ground to work on, a lot of common ground. For example, the whole idea about helping countries be able to use resources more effectively, to account for those resources, and to engage with civil society about how resources are being used is something that we are all struggling with. And we found that we think about these issues in a very similar way. There's an enormous number of tools that we can deploy in terms of aid effectiveness and how aid is used more generally, making it more transparent and putting it on maps and using those maps to go between what we know about poverty and how we are using resources and putting those things together, making sure that they give us new ideas about how to do things in a better way.
Boost is a tool that takes expenditure, public expenditure data, so it's budget data. How much money was allocated to education? Where was it supposed to be spent? At what time was it supposed to be spent to do what? So it takes, for example, all this data and puts it in a very simple kind of Excel format, which makes it easy to understand, easy to visualize, and easy to then mix up with other socioeconomic data. So that's Boost. But the beauty of it actually, and where it gets really powerful, is that it enables great transparency around budgets and around expenditures, which enables citizen groups, parliamentarians, and media to then use this data to make stories, to hold governments to account, to talk about policy changes with government. And specifically around the tools, what we have done is, again, bring together the different players from government who are interested in engaging with their citizen groups, media, people who are interested in creating interesting stories from public expenditure data, parliamentarians who want to do a little bit more on holding the executive to account but don't have the information they need to be able to do that. And around this, we help them figure out each from where they come from, but what they could do together to improve policy choices, budget execution, and ultimately service delivery to their citizens.
When we are trying to build capacity in developing countries, traditionally we have had a passive approach to capacity development. You know, people go to training courses and they try to learn. But today there's a much more dynamic area of capacity development. Practitioners want to learn from other practitioners. And today, unlike in the past, we have incredible development success. From 60 years ago when development process started, you now have the middle income countries, you have the BRICS, who really represent development success. Developing countries want to learn from other developing countries. And you know, the reason I find this to be an absolutely really exciting area is that wherever I go, countries want to learn from other countries, and each country wants to share a few things that each country is proud of. So we need to play a role of a connector. We need to play a role of a connector of practitioners that want to learn with practitioners that want to share.